Hello chess friends, today I am going to show you how can you make a brilliant move on chess.com. But to learn that, you have to learn the tactic of sacrifice. I have shared 3 puzzles in this video for you to find out how can you sacrifice the piece and get a brilliant move on chess.com in every single game. You can get it, but for that you have to learn the art of sacrifice. Let us get into the video. In this position, we have a bishop and a rook targeting the h7 pawn. If we take with the bishop, then the knight will take, of course. Notice that king cannot take because the rook is guarding that square. So the knight takes, we will bring our queen to the h5 square, and then we are trying to threaten the checkmate. Black has only one option. Can you find it? F pawn push. Black has to play f6 or f5, and after that we will take the knight and king will move to f7 square. There is also one more variation. After bishop takes h7, the king can move, and if the king moves, we will bring our bishop back to the original square or maybe to d3, and then we will play a slow game. Notice that white has an advantage of a pawn, and it is +2 in this position. So let us play the move. Bishop takes, and after this knight takes, queen to h5, and then black plays f5, and we take the knight. So this was correct. It is a difficult puzzle as compared to before. Now in this position we have two types of check. One is queen to d5 check and the king goes back. And after this I cannot see any sacrifice. There is nothing in this position. You have to remove the knight back. So this is not a great check. We have a check like this. Knight takes e3 with a fork and we can win the queen. But the problem is this pawn, the f2 pawn. So how can we remove that f2 pawn? We can take with the bishop, expecting white to take with the f pawn, but that is not forced. After we will take the pawn, there is pawn takes knight, and we are not winning. So we can take with this, rook takes f2. This is a check, and it is forced move. And after this we are winning with a fork. Let me show you how. Let me play the move. We will sacrifice the rook, and we will give a fork, and we will win the queen. In this position, we have only one sacrifice, but this puzzle is very hard to play. And the sacrifice is rook sacrifice. You and I could see that. That was easy. But after this, we have two types of check, and it's very hard to identify which one is better and which is not. You have a check with the rook. The king will go to any of the squares, and you can team up with the queen to try to checkmate. This is the right sequence. But there is also the other sequence where you give the check with the queen, the king moves, and the rook comes to the g1 square. The same is there, you are trying to checkmate, but there is a defense by black, which you cannot see, which is hard to see actually. The defense is the check. The queen will give a check, the king will move, and the queen will go back to the h7 square to try to protect the checkmate. So here, see, this is a wrong move. We have to give this check, and then we are winning.